Hey guys, Dave from Nerdarchy, for nerds, by nerds, hanging out with
Nerdarchy Ted.
And today is our weekly wrap-up. For you guys that have been around for a while, you kind of know what this is. If you're new to the channel, maybe you don't. And we're going to tell you, though. So right in the description below, you're going to find links to everything we're going to talk about in this video. And basically, it's like our table of contents, index, whatever you want to call it. And if we have some news coming up that we want to tell you about, this is where we're going to do it. As well as, you know, the longer we do this, it seems like more people want to send us stuff. Or we actually just happen to get stuff and we want to show you guys and share it with you. So we'll probably do that on here as well. For instance, today Ted has something to share with you guys.
So I'm a fan of Dungeon Crate, and you know there's all those different crate boxes and things that are out there, and this is the second Dungeon Crate that has come out, and you know,
are you still a fan of Dungeon Crate?
I still am a fan. I'm still going to continue. I actually already pre-opened this box, and Dave suggested, just go ahead and pull the stuff all out, and let's go through what's there. I think the second box didn't have as much cool stuff as the first, but you know, it is what it is. So,
how many boxes before you call it?
I got to get three substandard boxes before I say, all right, that's it.
Okay.
You know. But you get another, you know, cool coin. I don't know how well.
There you go.
So those are always fun. A dungeon deck of quests, which is always cool for DMs out there to want to be able to.
Have you opened that yet?
This is still sealed. If you want to crack that open while I'm going through the other stuff.
It's even got the thing like a pack of cigarettes.
I thought this was the coolest part in there. Is actually a pre-made module for 5th edition. It's a little flip through. It's got, you know, monsters and all kinds of cool stuff in here to be able to use, and it was prepared to be able to fit in your nice little Dungeon Crate box. So pretty awesome.
What's the name of the adventure?
Oh, yes, it is the Heroes of High Fantasy Creaking in the Dark by Chris Haskins and Ralph Stickley. You have a single encounter location for a Pathfinder game. This is the Buried Council Chamber. It's got a map and all the different riddles and things that can go along with it. And this is a map on one side, and then all more encounter stuff on the back. So it definitely looks like a very undead thing. It says at the top for 4 to 6 characters, level 2 through 3. So it's pretty neat. We don't play Pathfinder, so not you know, I have to modify that to 5e for us. But if you're a Pathfinder player, all the better. Another cool thing from Advanced Deployment, which I had actually gotten stuff in the first box and went ahead and actually created an order, which I got, and I'm very happy with it. They're little, as a friend said, they're plasma cut little plastic pieces that you can use to make all different kinds of stuff. This one happens to be a tent. And then of course, you know, you get your standard little pin, which most of the crates these days are all very much into. So did you crack that deck open, Dave?
I did. So what you got here is adventure. This is actually pretty cool. Oh, you have all these cards, right? And each of the cards have a symbol in the top corner. Like this one has a hook in it, and you know it's called a lure. There's other ones, entrances, which has a different symbol. And you know, basically you have you have lure, entrance, you've got, I'm just gonna sit back down here, you got, you know, atmosphere, I believe there's also one called, the setting, and then there's gonna be a reward at the end, there's actually even little maps, and then there's the different challenges, and then even on the challenges, like for the orcs, it's like, orcs often allow oozes to share their lairs, and sometimes orcs domesticate boars to use in battle. So it's taking like a standard monster and then even giving you some other ideas that you could possibly use with it. And so it's really cool. Like, you know, you could use this if you're like, you got a session coming up and you don't know what you want to do. You could literally just pull, you know, you could pull one of the lures, you know, and each section would totally give you basically a complete adventure.
Nice.
It's actually pretty well put together. In my opinion, like, just this deck alone probably increases the value of that box. You know, you were going through all the different stuff, but like, I think a deck like this is going to, you know, run you from $6 to $10 easily anyway.
I would say, you know, with as thick as this is, and with the variety of options in there, I would actually put it at 10 to 12.
Okay.
So
like the third of your crate cost is literally like
right here, yeah, and
right there.
That definitely does change the factor. So I'll say I'm still happy, or I'll change it to I'm now happy with it. Having, you know, gotten that feedback, and I'll have to give this a gander when we're off camera.
Yeah, the deck is actually pretty impressive. So with that, now we'll get on to our regular wrap up,
Right.
which we got Nerdarchy, the newsletter. So, you know, guys, you hear us talking about this all the time, and it's just a way to get weekly tips from us, as well as you can learn how to game with Nerdarchy. This week we have another Nerdarchy game coming up. We're probably going to be changing some things, only to make it easier to make sure we get people into our games, because, I mean, we only do it once a month. We can only get 4 or 5 people into a game as it is, so we want to make sure we fill all those slots.
Right.
And putting this last game together was a bit of a struggle for Ted.
I actually upped it. Instead of having 4 players in the game, I wanted to take it to 5, because what the adventure I have written, I thought was a little challenging, and I wanted to make sure you guys were able to survive and have a good time with it.
And out of 10 people, how many did you get?
2. Out of
Right.
out of 10 emails, only 2 of you guys returned saying one way or the other, and I had to struggle, and I couldn't wait until Thursday. I needed stuff, you know, ahead of time.
Luckily, there's a lot of you guys that we're connected to on Facebook and through Twitter and other places, and we're like, so like, you know, me and Ted more so, and especially me, I think, because I run the Facebook page. A lot of you guys like stalk me and stuff, which is fine. I like connecting with you guys. But I'm like, Ted, here's a list of people that I know of.
So I reached out to you and said, you know, what are my options here? And originally it was like, oh, well, just, you know, grab another 5 names, another 10 names off the list and email them. And I'm like,
Email can be clunky.
Email can be clunky. You know, it might go into a spam filter, or like people might not be looking for that if they didn't, you know, hear their names. I'm like, so what is an option? What can we do?
So here is exactly what we are going to do. If you've joined the Adventurers Guild for Nerdarchy, sometime in the near future, you're going to get an email from that email list saying, here is the official Facebook group for Gaming with Nerdarchy. Now, that being said, if you are not on Facebook, you do not have to join Facebook unless you want to.
Right.
We will still do it how we've always done it. We will send out emails, but the purpose of that group is going to be, hey, we're down to the wire. We still need 3 more players. We'll go in there because people tend to be more active on Facebook and hanging out in the groups. So, you know, we'll put together, you know, our company of the NAG, and we can all hang out. We can talk about the games we've run, and if we have trouble reaching people to put into our games,
or if we have slots to fill either at last minute or a couple days before, we can reach out through there and say, all right, first come.
who's available? Yeah.
Right.
And you know, so, and really, like, we're talking about, like, the Adventurers Guild it's over 300 people have joined that.
Right.
So there's a lot of you that want to game with us, and we want to game with you, and we want to make sure those games happen. So as an extra layer, at some point, either this weekend or this week, I'm going to send out an email, and you guys will be invited to a secret Facebook group. If you're not part of the Adventurers Guild, you're not getting in. And that's just the way we're going to do it. And it's our way of thanking you guys for hanging out with us. And yes, we do want to game with as many of you as possible. So there's that. That was a mouthful. As always, we have Nerdarchy the store, where at nerdarchy.com you can find that in the menu, and you can get nerdy swag from our merchandise store, or you can go to our digital download store, where we're as we put together more adventure supplements or anything like that, that's where we're going to put it. And if you guys have ideas for something you'd like us to put together, generally the price range is probably going to be somewhere from $1.99 to $7 or something, depending on what it is and how much work goes into it. We have our Patreon. You don't want to buy our crap, that's fine. But you still like our videos and you want to help us out, Patreon is the place to do it. And for you guys that have been supporting us on Patreon, thank you so much. Whenever we upgrade anything or buy new equipment and stuff like that, you guys are the ones that are going to help with us. And even for our gaming sessions that you guys watch, like you see, you see us a bunch of fat nerds chomping on pizza. Well, you guys paid for that pizza a lot of times. So we pay our gamers in pizza and our GM. So thank you. And then we have Nerdarchy, the forum. Now some of you guys have had problems with signing up for it. If you do, email me at nerdarchy@gmail.com. If for some reason you don't get the notification email, and for some reasons they get spammed out, or sometimes they don't even go to spam. They don't even ever make it to any of the inboxes for some reason. I don't know why. But when that happens, all you have to do is email me at nerdarchy@gmail.com, or even someone has messaged me on Facebook through the Facebook fan page. And usually if you've tried to set it up and you haven't gotten the credentials, I can go in there and I can manually give you a new password, and and it'll use your username, and then you can go in there and change your credentials once it's set up to whatever you want it to be.
Right.
And then, so, I mean, not that I don't know who's going to want to break into your forum account, but I don't know what they can do with that. But anyway, so, if you have a problem, just reach out. We'll fix it. We'll get you in.
Absolutely.
And also on the forums, when we do GM 911s, there's a section just for that on the forums as well. Right. What else do we got here? We got... sorry, I've had this terrible cold that's been lingering forever. So
that's only been 3 weeks. No big deal.
I got a cough drop in my mouth, so I'm trying not to hack it, you guys.
It's not like Dave's dying.
Yeah, maybe. DMG Info, our good buddy from down under. Last week we even got to open up some presents from him. I would love to have a Nerdarchy viewing party for the DVDs he sent us. We're to do a riff tracks over, which was very cool. But anyway, why are we bringing him up? Why do we bring him up every week?
All right, so basically, he's been around for quite a while. He had quite a large amount of videos. And he had over 10,000 subscribers. Some YouTube glitch happened. He had no control over it. All his subscribers disappeared. He went down to 0. His videos disappeared behind a paywall. And once he got that fixed, he struggled with the idea of, do I give up or do I, start crawling back again, trying to get back to those numbers? So we said, you know what? Your videos are awesome. Your stuff is awesome, and you're great. So until he gets back to 10,000 subscribers, we're gonna keep pimping out his stuff. He does time-lapse videos of dungeon terrain building, uses a 2.5D system for dungeon tiles, but he goes more than that. He makes terrain, he makes things that are just great.
He makes torches. He makes all kinds of things. Really tiny torches.
I watched a video where he made, tankards and wine bottles that are this tiny. It was amazing. And he does it with simple things that, people tend to have. So it's really great. If you're a crafter or you're into, crafting things for this RPG hobby, check out his videos. If you're not, but you know someone that is, share his stuff with them, because if you're into it or you know someone that is, they're going to love it. They're going to be able to say, wow, I didn't realize it was that simple, or I didn't realize I could do that. It's really great, and I highly recommend it. And until he's over 10,000 subscribers, we're going to keep talking about it.
That's the rumor.
That's the rumor.
Conventions, guys. Would you like to see us appear at a convention? If we get invited by the convention itself, it's more likely to happen, and we'll also know about it too. That's also helpful.
Mm-hmm.
And we might start also pitching conventions as well for us to do
panels and stuff.
Panels, talks, whatnot. I don't know, whatever you do at a convention. Stuff.
Speaking of conventions, if you happen to be going to the Steampunk World's Fair May 13th through the 15th. Be on the lookout for yours truly. I plan to be there. So, if you see me, feel free to stop by and say hi.
But just as an attendee, right? No panels.
Yeah. No panels. I'll be just there as an attendee.
You'll just be Ted.
I'll just be Nerdarchy Ted. Just, hi, I'm here.
Nice. And you might have something for them, right?
Yes. I'm in... In one of our earlier videos, I mentioned about the card game Concordia. It's a game. It's a card game that they only give out usually at conventions, and I'm going to be purchasing Nerdarchy cards to be able to hand out for that game. So it'll be basically whoever asks, hey, do you have one? There you go. So.
And not only that, too, I think more than likely we'll be hanging out over at Geek Fest on April 2nd.
Absolutely.
Which is coming up really soon. Like next weekend?
2 weeks.
2 weeks, something. I don't know. Dates. Yeah, but April 2nd, Geek Fest is going to be happening. South Jersey Geek Fest. I'll put a link below, like I've been doing. If you guys check that out, let us know if you're going to be there. Like we can hang out afterwards.
Because we're not running games, so it's literally going to be just whatever we feel like doing. So we said that we can, if you guys contact us and say I plan to be there, then we can figure out some kind of local area to hang and do something.
Yeah, something. GM 911s, we mentioned them. You guys got a specific problem in your game. This is not for video suggestions, but hey, this is actually coming up in an upcoming game. We take these serious. We try and get them out. We generally do anywhere from 2 to 5 of them a week.
Right.
And if you email us, subject line gm911 at nerdarchy@gmail.com, or put it on the forums, that's the 2 places we primarily look for these. Mm-hmm. And we don't get to all of them, so sorry. Sometimes we get to them maybe even a little bit late, but if we think that you have a really good problem that other people are going to have too, we might go back and do it anyway.
Some of the times, the GM 911s we get, people have the same problem over and over and over again.
Yes.
And it's not, no offense, guys, but it's not good content for us to say the same solution over and over again. So if you
do by accident though sometimes.
So if you have a problem, you can look through our GM 911 series and see if we've already talked about your problem, or see if a solution that we've offered,
or just did a video on it. Yeah. That brings us to, there's actually a search feature on the YouTube channels. If you go to that, and you can put different things in there, and that'll bring up a ton. I mean, at this point we've done over 900 videos, so. Right. A lot of times we've covered something that you've asked, and it's not that it's not important or whatever. It's just that because it is a more common problem than you think. We've been asked it a bunch of times, and we've covered it maybe more than once, as Mike Gould likes to point out.
So nerdarchy@gmail.com, put GM911 in the subject. Give us enough information to be able to solve your problem, but not so much that it takes us forever to actually read it, because we do have to read it, talk about it, make sure we've got a good idea how to solve this problem before we start the camera rolling. But you can also submit it to as Dave says, the forums under the GM911 section.
And a lot of times, other loyal Nerdarchists there will chime in and give you suggestions as well.
Absolutely.
And the other great thing about when we do GM 911s, you get a ton of useful suggestions in the comments. Well, yeah.
So and we have a lot of great commenters.
We do.
So now we do take viewer suggestions via nerdarchy@gmail.com, but those are things that, because it's just a suggestion, we put it on the list to talk about. And when we get to it, we get to it when we get to it, if we get to it. And the GM 911s, if we're going to do them, we try to get them out within a week, because it's a problem going on in your current game, and we assume most people are gaming, once
on a regular
week,
basis,
twice a month, whatever have you. So we want to get it out there as quickly as possible.
Exactly. We have Nerdarchy, the video gameplay channel, which right now only Nate is doing video gameplays on there. I don't even think he's updating as frequently as he was, but he's still putting them up there, and you guys can, go check that out and get your Nate the Nerdarch fix, because that is the only way he's really able
to continue.
He is interacting with Nerdarchy at this point because of other things going on in his life, but that's neither here nor there. At some point, Nerdarchy may actually jump on there and start playing some games, like we've talked about it. We've been contacted from the people from Neverwinter's. Mm-hmm. They actually want us to pimp their stuff, so we might actually get on there and as a group play that game. We don't know. Would you guys like to see that? I mean, so
comments.
Yeah, let us know. All right, so we have nerdarchy.com. There was an article on the Codex of Alera book series, which is a Jim Butcher book series, really good stuff. Tales from the Silver Gryff Inn, and that is, if you want your Scott Garraby fix in written form. And for you guys that hate him, you can avoid that series like the plague. We also have Nerdy Dating Sites by Ty Johnson. which was a pretty good read, but being married, my wife would not appreciate it if I trolled those sites. So I'll stay away. There's 5th edition Feat Trees is a...
who wrote that one?
Yeah, some douchebag.
That was by Dave.
Yeah, I did an article on basically feat trees, prestige classes, and multi-classing, kind of an overview, and I end it with, creating a feat that would be in a feat tree. So you can go check that out over there if you care. Then Ted did a Conan RPG on Kickstarter. I reviewed that and did a little bit of workup that you guys can check out.
That's good stuff over there. So over on the YouTube, we have Where Creature Organizations, the Lycanthropes United. That was a world building.
Yeah, we did that a while. Hey guys, I think we're finally done with the autofocusing videos. At this point, I think they are all out there and released into the wilds, and we have no more in our backlog.
Because we try to record more videos than we actually release every week to kind of deal with what happens when one of us gets sick.
And then I randomly pick them and throw them up for you guys.
So we have a GM 911 if a DM needs help with a racist character. That's always an issue. We did a D&D monster of goatmen and beast folk. We did a Dungeons & Dragons monster on the combo troll and Behir monster BFFs. We did another GM 911 of, but Nerdarchy said don't stat that. We did a legendary monsters of Yeenoghu, the Demon Lord of Gnolls. That was a fun one. Game Master tips on monster encounter ecology, monsters by the numbers. We did another in the world building of why live in a horrible place. Yet another GM 911 of conflict in the game. 2 players don't get along. And we finished it up with Fast and Dirty Monsters, the Quickling. So with that wraps it up. Until next time, stay nerdy.